Hello, everybody here on Facebook and YouTube. This is Gary Calger, KB8UGP in Shinston, West Wales. Let's say it a little more correctly, in Enterprise, West Virginia. That's where I'm at. And I am looking at the Xiegu G90 right here. And the Xiegu G90 is a very capable, nice little QRP rig. Which can put out up to 20 watts, but sometimes the 20 watts doesn't even get through in certain applications there. So what I have done, I added a amplifier to it, an RF amplifier, which is the RM Italy KL-203p. The P means for preamp. Now, this being said, this is a CB and 10 meter amplifier, but it can be made to use from 60 meters all the way to 10 with a simple little thing you might be able to do. Now, what I've been doing in order to get my filters for the amplifier to work, like I said, that was a CB amplifier right there. The RM Italy 203p. And I added the fan on it there to keep it cool. Now, what I have done to make that amplifier work with the G90, you don't need a whole lot of extra cables and everything with that RM Italy amp. It's got an SSB and AM out there where you can flip that SSB, and when you key the mic, it's going to work. Now, here's what I've done to get my filters. I'm using my QRP tuner there from MFJ. In between the radio and the amplifier. That gives me my filters. Then from the amplifier to the antenna, I'm using my MFJ Deluxe tuner in between. That gives me everything I need to make that amp happy with the radio and the radio happy with the amp. Once you achieved a 0 SWR on the G90, using the MFJ 9219 or similar QRP tuner of your choice. You can even use an automatic tuner, maybe. I don't know. I've never explored that application yet. But like I said, I'm making this radio happy with the input on this amp. And what I'm getting out right now, I'm getting 100 watts out. I will key the radio here. 100 watts there. And that SWR meter there, for some reason the SWR goes up to about a 1.5, which when I tune the radio with the SWR meter on this one, I get a 0 on it. But it might be getting, well, of course, too, it says with the MFJ tuner, 10 watts to tune with that meter and everything. So I guess when you switch it, up to 300 watts, it doesn't follow it. I have never figured that out yet. It does it even with my other radios. When I'm running the higher wattage there. Like if I'm running my Kenwood there with this tuner, it still registers, high. But the SWR on this radio stays, down nil to none. But getting back to the G90, making it happy with that amplifier. And that amplifier only cost me $129 off of eBay. You might get a little cheaper, I don't know. But it's a very good little amplifier, very capable. And I'm only putting, let's see here, I'm only putting 2 watts into that amplifier and getting 100 to 110 out on 40 meters right there. Now, I suggest, they say 100 watts what this is capable for. I've seen it go up to 150, but that is pushing it up too hard. They recommend no more than 10 watts into these amps. So I'm only putting 2 watts. I'm getting 100 out. I'm happy. It's working great. I'm making all kinds of contacts. But I just wanted to throw this in there. Like I said, between this radio and the amp, use a QRP tuner. And what you want to achieve when you have the amp in the mode to run, it'll have a high SWR with this radio here between the radio and the amp. Reason why? Because the filters are not made to work the lower HF. But unless you use, let's see here, I'm getting some stray sound there. Unless you use a QRP tuner. The tuner like I got set there, to bring the SWR down on this. I bring the SWR down to nil to nothing. I'm going to show you here. I'm still in CW mode there. And this is the 2 watts. And see, it has 0 SWR. Let's see what it does here. It's about a 1.3 on that meter. Like I said, to make that work, it can be done. So you can get away pretty cheap, and you don't need all them goofy wires that they want you to get with a G90 amp, the amp for this radio. And plus two, them amps that you get with this if you buy an amplifier for this radio, you're not always going to get 100 watts out on, all the bands. Of course, I'm missing 2 bands, 160 and 80. I hardly ever use them. So I'm more or less, using 40 all the way up to 10. So that's what it is. So I just want to show you that. Easy pleasy. Like I said, you don't need a whole lot of wires. Your input and output cables there, to go in between your jumpers, between that. That's all you need. So there you go. A little trick to do with the G90 to get 100 watts out. With a little tuner in between the radio and the amplifier. 73, everybody. So y'all take care, and God bless America.